In today's episode, I'm going to rank the top 3 best stock market simulators that I think are especially good for beginner traders who want to learn the ropes of how to trade in the market, but who don't want to lose hard-earned money in the process. Now, I can already hear some of you guys saying, wait a second, Ross, I already lost hard-earned money. And I don't blame you. I did the same thing when I was getting started. So do most beginner traders. It's easy to fund an account. It's easy to start trading with real money, but if you don't have a strategy, you don't have a system or a set of rules, and you may not even have a working knowledge of the software, what's bound to happen is you lose money. So you take losses, and what is unexpected is that feeds emotion. So all of a sudden you get emotional, you're upset that you lost money, and you feel like, I need to make this back as quickly as possible. The problem is, since you still don't have a strategy, and you still don't necessarily know exactly how to use the software, you end up losing more money. This becomes a negative feedback loop where the more you lose, the more emotional you get until you are escorted out of the market. This has happened to more traders than we'll probably ever know. A lot of beginner traders come into the market, they jump in head first into the deep end, lose money, and then they're gone. And many of those traders might have actually become very successful if only they had first slowed down and laid a solid foundation. So if you've already made those beginner mistakes that I made and so many others have made as well, let's put a pause on trading with real money. Let's make learning how to trade fun by bringing down the pressure and by practicing in a stock market simulator. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the features of what I think are the 3 best stock market simulators or paper trading simulators that are out there today. I will also give you a full demo of each of these 3 platforms, so if you decide to use one of them, you're already going to have a strong foundation of understanding how they work, how to set it up, and how to lay it out. Now, before I forget, I put a link, also pinned at the top of the comments and linked in the description, where you can download my small account strategy worksheet. This is great for you guys to follow while you're in the trading simulator. It's all about managing your risk, focusing on the highest quality setups, and building that positive feedback loop. If you recall, most beginner traders, they go on a negative feedback loop that starts with losing money, getting emotional, and then losing more. It's a spiral. Let's break that spiral, not focus on the money, but instead focus on accuracy, trading the highest quality setups, A+. I'm going to show you what those are and walk you through what I would consider the 5 pillars of stock selection. Focusing on high accuracy improves your profit-loss ratio. That improves your consistency. Your calendar starts looking really nice and green. That increases your confidence. So now you're feeling really good about your trading. You're going to increase your quantity, increase your share size, and this is the beginning of a positive feedback loop. So I want to make sure you download my small account strategy worksheet so you can get started today. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on to the screen share. I've got a slide deck here. We're going to go full screen on this. So let's start by just talking about why a lot of brokers don't even offer a simulator. This is crazy to me. For instance, Robinhood currently does not offer a simulator. So the reason here, it makes sense when you realize the way these brokers make money. They don't make money by offering a free trading simulator. You're using market data, you're using their software, you're using the services, everything else, the bandwidth on the servers. I mean, it creates a lot of load, and you're not using real money. They make nothing off of you doing that. They make money when you trade with real money. And that's because a lot of these commission-free brokers, in fact, all of them, are engaged in the payment for order flow business model where they sell all of your order flow to an institutional trading firm. And that institutional trading firm is able to give you wholesale prices and scalp essentially all of the orders that go through for fractions of a penny. Now, fractions of a penny add up to the tune of billions of dollars a year for these big firms. And then the retail brokers get the payment from those firms. So their motivation is to encourage you to trade with real money. And so a lot of platforms don't even offer a simulator because there's no money in it. Some of them will offer simulators, but they only offer them for a limited period of time, or they limit the features that are included in a simulator, which then encourages you to just trade with real money, which is what they want after all. So we're going to talk about what I think are probably your 3 best options. You've got Webull, you've got Thinkorswim, and then you've got the Warrior Trading Sim. Now, of course, you'll say I'm biased with the Warrior Trading Sim, and maybe I am, but you look and compare the options as I lay them out for these 3. So what we're going to do first is we're going to compare and contrast on 7 key points. Whether or not you can trade extended hours, which is pre-market through after hours, whether or not they include level 2 data, whether or not you have hotkeys, whether or not you can see halt levels, resumption quotes from when a stock is halted, whether or not they offer trading metrics, and what the price is of the software. We're going to start by looking at thinkorswim. Okay, well, actually, let's go row by row. Let's compare them across row by row. So we'll start with extended hours. So extended hours, for those of you guys who are not familiar, the market opens technically at 9:30 a.m. That's the opening bell on Wall Street, and it closes at 4 p.m. This is regular trading hours. After hours goes till 8 p.m., and pre-market starts at 4 a.m. Currently, can you trade pre-market or after hours on the thinkorswim simulator? The answer is no. Can you do it on Webull? The answer is yes. Can you do it on Warrior Trading Sim? The answer is yes. All right, so right there, the thinkorswim is the only platform that doesn't offer it. Next one is level 2 data. All 3 platforms offer level 2 data, so they're all the same there. Advanced hotkeys. Unfortunately, the thinkorswim platform does not offer advanced hotkeys, neither for production, real money, or for simulated trading. They do have some basic hotkeys, and I'll show you how those work when we get into the platform demo, but they're basic. Webull does offer excellent hotkeys, asterisks. It's only available with real money. It's not available in the paper trading simulator, which is a total bummer. And there's not any logical reason why that would be the case, but that is the case. Warrior Trading Sim does offer hotkeys. They do not show you halt levels on thinkorswim, but they do show them on Webull if you have real money production version, and you do have them on the Warrior Trading Sim. Resumption quotes, you don't have them on thinkorswim, you do have them on Webull, again, only with the funded account, and you do have them on the Warrior Trading Sim. Metrics, I think Warrior Trading Sim is the only one that offers the metrics. You don't have them on Webull, you don't have them on thinkorswim. There may be other platforms out there that offer metrics only, but you've got to import your metrics, and it's a separate thing. And then the price, thinkorswim is free. So there's a lot of things you don't get, but it is free. Webull costs $10 a month, and you're paying for the market data, but you have to have an account funded. You could fund it with just like $10. Well, maybe you should fund it with a little more because of the $10 monthly fee, but you could fund it with $100, let's just say, and then you could have basically almost everything. And then I'll show you how I would do that. So it can work. This is a pretty good option. It can work, but you've got to do a workaround, and I'll show you how to do that. And then the Warrior Trading Sim is a great option, but it's $100 a month. Now, we don't make money on payment for order flow. We're not a broker-dealer. So we have to pay market data fees to NASDAQ, to the exchanges, and we have to pay for our server costs and everything else. So we have a simulator. It's free for 90 days for Warrior Pro members, and then after that, it's $100 a month. So it's out there, and these are basically what I would say are your 3 best options. Now, before we do the platform demo, I think it's worth acknowledging that we're talking about the best stock market simulator for simulated trading. But we also have to ask the question of what is the best platform for trading with real money? Well, in fact, we're going to use the same standard. Everything here applies for real money. We've got to have extended hours. We need level 2 data. We need hotkeys. We want halt levels. We want resumption quotes. And so based on this, thinkorswim for real money, to me, doesn't work very well unless you pay, I think it's $150 to $175 a month for a third-party add-on. And that third-party add-on will give you the hotkeys, the halt levels, and the resumption quotes. So if you really want to make thinkorswim work, you're going to have to spend that money for that add-on. And that's using a platform called DAS Trader, D-A-S. So DAS Trader is the third-party add-on. It's an actual trading platform. You connect it to your Charles Schwab account, and you don't even have to log into thinkorswim. So it has your positions, it has your orders, it has charts, although they're very basic. It has your level 2 windows. And so you could do all your trading right inside the DAS Trader platform. The only downside is the obvious $175 per month. However, if you were considering using thinkorswim with DAS and $175 a month, and you were comparing that with a broker like the broker that I use, I pay a commission on every trade I take. I spend far more than $175 a month on commissions. Now, the broker that I use, so for what it's worth, Webull is its own broker, Thinkorswim is its own broker, Warrior Trading is not a broker. But our simulator that we offer is actually powered by Sterling. So we license the Sterling software and we just have it connected to a simulated exchange. But Sterling is a platform that you can use with real money brokers. You can use it with Lightspeed. Lightspeed makes it available. You can use it with Guardian. Pretty sure you can use it with Centerpoint. You can use it with CMEG, which is an offshore broker-dealer down in the Caribbean. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of different brokers that you can use Sterling with. There's also dozens of different brokers that you can use DAS with. You can use DAS with all of these brokers and just as many. So DAS and Sterling are both trading platforms that are popular with small brokers that can't afford to develop their own Thinkorswim platform, right? Thinkorswim is actually a platform owned by Charles Schwab. Webull, they built their own platform, but these brokers that are big enough and have the money, they can do it. So the question here is, I think it's just worth noting that it's important to do simulated trading, ideally, on the same software you're going to use with real money. Imagine doing a flight simulator in a Cessna, pretend Cessna, but you're going to fly 747. It's like you got to do apples to apples here. So the thing with Webull that I'll say now, I've traded with Webull, with Thinkorswim. I've used Lightspeed. I've used Centerpoint. I've used CMEG. I've traded with dozens of different brokers. So if we're going to talk about which of these platforms and brokers are actually best for real money, there's a couple things that we should acknowledge. So an issue that some people have with Webull is that it's owned by a Chinese holding company. So the ownership being Chinese has left some Americans feeling like, I don't want to put my money into a Chinese broker dealer. And maybe that's blown out of proportion, but some people feel that way strongly. And so there has been this Chinese influence in the stock market. Certainly we've seen that in the small cap market. It's not always been good. And so some people are just resistant and hesitant to opening an account with a Chinese company. So that's the first potential issue with Webull. You don't have that with Thinkorswim, of course. So that's just something with Webull to be aware of. Now, an issue that I had with my Webull account was orders getting rejected because they exceeded maximum quantity threshold for a single order. And I'll tell you the way this happened. Basically what happened was I had a stock I was trading and it was priced around like $4 a share. And I had my buy button. So buy button for 2,000 shares, 2K shares. And so I clicked that 4 times. And because I stipulated a limit on my order of, like 401 or whatever it was, because I had a limit, I actually only got a partial fill of about 6,300 shares. So it's kind of a partial fill. Anyways, I took the trade and I decided, after I was in, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get out. So I pressed my sell, full position, hotkey. That's it. Sell full position, it's a hotkey. And usually I press that and boom, I'm out of the trade instantly. And nothing happened. And I sat there and I'm like, what is going on? What's happening? And now I'm starting to panic a little bit because I'm trying to sell and I cannot get out and the stock starts dropping. And I'm like, okay, this is a problem. So I can't even click outside. Anything I click in the actual app, I'm just getting this, Windows like dung, dung, kind of like error. Like it won't let me click anything. I have no idea what's going on. So I go down, I'm getting ready to force quit. I go to my taskbar to right click the platform and I see there's 2 windows. So I'm like, what is this? So I click on the second one and I see that there's a notification. And so the notification was actually sort of hidden. I couldn't even see that there was a notification, but there was, and it said that my order was rejected because it exceeded the maximum quantity threshold. So I was like, what in the heck? All right, so I was like, well, whatever. I'll just press my sell half hotkey. I got the same notification for selling half. That's 3,150 shares. Now, I'll tell you that this was a trade during extended hours. The stock had a lot of volume. It wasn't a low volume stock, but this was the error that I was getting. I wasn't able to finally sell until I manually typed in my order for, it was like 1,000 shares, and then had to slowly get out. While that was happening, you know what the price was doing? It was dropping because I had my I had my stop, and this just happened to be the bad luck that it was on a losing trade that it happened. So I got in, the stock went up, it came down to my stop. I tried to get out, couldn't get out, and then it keeps going lower. That has not happened to me at Thinkorswim. However, what has happened at Thinkorswim is I put the sell order or the buy order out there, and it just sits in the working order tab. And it just sits and sits and sits. And the order is a valid order. The time in force, everything is right, but it just lags. And it takes 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe even a minute before my order finally executes. Now, I'll tell you something. Trading is hard enough without dealing with stuff like this happening. So if you were going to force me right now today to use one of these two brokers for real money, I would probably use Charles Schwab Thinkorswim using Dash Trader and pay the $175 a month, right? Because the order rejection is not feasible for me with Webull. But that's because I trade with larger positions. So now there's kind of this question of what is the best broker for real money? And the best for real money is gonna ask, this question forces me to ask you a question, which is how many shares are you trading with? Because if you're trading with between 1 and, I'd say 5,000 shares, commission-free brokers are fine. They're fine. Yes, you might get a little slippage. You might have a few orders, especially when you're on the larger side here, that start to cause you some issues, as we saw with Webull. But for the most part, when you're trading with relatively small size, it's fine, and commission-free is great. But when you start trading with above 5,000 shares, a broker like Webull is going to be a problem. And Thinkorswim, while it can work, you'll certainly want to still spend the money here. You could still have issues with orders that sit there and lag and don't fill quickly. So the advantage with these types of brokers is that these cater to 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure traders. They're not going to give you order rejection for share size. You want to take 100,000 shares, you could take 100,000 shares. You want to trade aggressively, you want to trade fast. This software, Sterling Sim and Dash Trader, integrated with these platforms, is designed for super fast trading. I mean, even high frequency trading. So these platforms really kind of take the leash off, and you can run. You can move fast in the market, big size in, big size out. And so for me, if I was going to trade with a commission-free broker, I think I would my profit was sort of cap. Whereas this is kind of where the other brokers pick up. So again, if you're down here, commission-free, and Webull might be great, and it is definitely cheaper than using the $175 a month. But if you're kind of getting up into this area, then you want to scale up. So the question now is, as a beginner, which platform should I use, anticipating that I want to take this ramp to the upside? And you might find this to be surprising, but I would actually probably say either Webull or Warrior, and not Thinkorswim, because you don't want to spend $175 a month on DAS. And using Thinkorswim's platform right here, you would learn to use software that is so unique to Thinkorswim. The skills you learn don't really translate to any other broker because this platform is so unusual. So if you were going to eventually scale up, then you'd have to sort of start from scratch with learning something new. So I think Webull at, approximately $10 a month, and then plus maybe a couple dollars for other data, is a good starting point, and you can trade there just fine with relatively small size. But when then you're ready to transfer, you sort of transition to one of these brokers, or you use the Warrior Trading Sim, and you're a Warrior Pro member, so you get access to it for 90 days, and then right from there, you could either go use Webull with real money, or you could use one of these brokers, and that would be fine too. So now let's do our platform demos real quick. I'm going to start by doing, I'll go through the platform demos in depth, but I'm going to start by doing a comparison. So let's pull up first the Thinkorswim platform. So with Thinkorswim, if you want to trade in the Thinkorswim paper money, you actually have to log out of real money and log in to paper money. So you've got live trading and then paper money. When you're logged into paper money, there's an orange ring around it, or kind of a yellow ring around it. It says simulated trading. What I want to do first is I just want to do a execution speed test of all 3 platforms. And let's just see which one executes the trades the fastest. That's just going to be the first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to hide this as well. So we're just going to go right here. All right, so we're on the simulated trading mode. We'll just do 1,000 shares. Doesn't really matter. This is WKEY. And we're going to click buy market. Okay, so let's see. Right now, it doesn't appear that my order is filled, but there's no logical reason why it wouldn't have filled. There it is. Okay. So you can see it took a second, right? I'm in, but it took a second. Now let's go sell market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, I could read the newspaper. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 seconds to fill? My goodness. Wait, as long as you don't mind being patient. All right. Okay. So Thinkorswim, you've set the bar relatively low. Let's go ahead and pull up Webull. All right. So we're going to pull up Webull here. This is the paper trading simulator on Webull. We're going to do the same stock, WKEY, and I'm going to click buy market. Okay. Orders here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 seconds. I'm in at 89. Let's click sell. Sell market. We're going to go sell bid. That's fine. Either one would be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So sold in about 4 seconds. So is it faster? Not on the buy side. Let's try buying ask. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds to buy. Sell bid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My order hasn't even come up though. Did it not accept the order? So did I get an error message? Sell bid. Order submitted. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can't really say either of these are super fast. And I'll just show you for 1 second. So I'll just put up my this is a real money account here. I'll just do 1 share just for instance, just to show you how fast it is. So this is a real money account. 1 share. In instantly. 1 share. Sell. Gone instantly. In and out. Do you see how fast that is? It is lightning. Now let's go ahead. Let's just try switching to Thinkorswim or to Webull production. All right. So this is a real money account here. Let's see. WKEY. And I'm just going to do. Let's see. I want to do a small order. So I'm going to pull up the widget for your order entry window. Where is it? So add widget, classic trade. That's fine. All right. So we're just going to do 100 shares, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just 100 shares. We're going to do a buy order. We're going to do a market order and we're going to click buy. So let's count it out. 1, instant. I'm in immediately. Let's turn around and sell. Instant. It's instant. So why is that? Why is the simulator so slow, but real money is instant? Well, maybe we already talked about it. All right, let's test that out. We'll test the same thing out in Thinkorswim. I will log out of this real quick. So let's go ahead. Well, I'll just close it. So I'm just going to close this, log off, and then we'll log back in. And then we'll pull up the Warrior Trading Sim as well. So the Warrior Trading Sim is using the same software that you can use with real money. It's just connected to a simulator. So I'm going to press Shift-1, and you can see it's instant. Control-Z. So yeah, I can't even count. I mean, I'll do the count. 1. Okay, there we go. And 1. So it's like 1 second, not even. All right, let's check Thinkorswim simulator. So what I think is the issue here is that these platforms allocate more resources to production, to real money, and they don't allocate the resources for simulated trading because there's not money in it. I think that's the problem. There's just not money in letting people use the simulator. Now, we have a simulator at Warrior Trading, of course, but it costs money. But we have now the expectation to give our members a great experience using it. So, I wanted to show you, by the way, the purpose of this is not just to say that the Warrior Trading Sim is the best, because I don't think it is the best for everyone. I actually think there's a way to make Webull work well, and I'm gonna explain what that technique would be. All right, so now let's just do 100 shares here on Thinkorswim. So we're going to do buy market, 100 shares, instant, basically instant. Sell market, it's pretty quick. Buy market, sell market. Was it as quick as Lightspeed? No, I don't think so. I don't think it was quite as fast as Lightspeed, but it was fast. It's pretty darn fast. And so both Webull and Thinkorswim are much faster with real money than when you're sim trading. All right, so this is important information. So let's get back onto the slide deck here for a second. So if we go back here, what we now know is that we could add another row here, actually. We'll go ahead and add a row. Let's see. So, sorry, sometimes I fumble with this. Insert row above. Better with real money, question mark? Yes, NA, not applicable. So the better with real money is interesting because it incentivizes you to go ahead and trade with real money. So this is what I would say. Thinkorswim platform, it does not allow you to trade extended hours in the simulator. It doesn't give you level 2 data. Sorry, it does give you level 2 data. It does not give you hotkeys. It doesn't give you halt resumptions. It doesn't give you halt levels, quotes, anything like that. So the only thing that changes with real money, so we'll say if you use real money, then you can trade extended hours. With Webull, you can trade extended hours both ways. So if you were going to fund a real money account with Thinkorswim, the problem is you still wouldn't get these 3 items here that you would get with Webull. You don't get advanced hotkeys, you don't get halt levels, you don't get resumption quotes. So this is what I would propose. If you want to use what is more or less a free simulator, you could use Thinkorswim or Webull. $10 a month. All right, pay the $10 a month and do Webull. $10 a month, you're going to get level 2 data, you're going to get advanced hotkeys, halt levels, and resumption quotes, but you have to fund an account with real money. And then what I would do is I would trade just with 1 share. See, now you beat the system. They're not going to make that much money on 1 share, but they're going to give you access to all the features. So now this requires you, I will say, to be disciplined. Can you discipline yourself to only trading with 1 share? As long as you can do that, then I think that this is a good workaround. And it's a more or less as close to free as it gets. So I'm going to go on the assumption that we're not going to use the actual simulator for Thinkorswim or Webull. We're going to use the production environment. So if we use the production environment for Thinkorswim, as I have it right here, we're backlogged into the production environment. This is how I would set it up. For Thinkorswim, I would set up these buttons right here. So you see how I have these buttons? This for me, I think is pretty much like the best way to set it up. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description where you can download my layouts and then you can go and install them yourself. So you don't have to customize it the way I've done. I'll do it for you, and then you can just install my layout. So there'll be a link where you can download it, pinned to the top of the comments and linked in the description. So on Thinkorswim, I like Thinkorswim. I think the charts are great. They're easy to use. I would love it if they offered 10-second charts. They don't. 1 minute's the fastest the charts get. But I think they're nice looking charts. They're easy to navigate. You can kind of move them around nicely. You can zoom in, you can slide left and right. It's a nice platform. It's clean. And of course it works on your mobile phone, which is super convenient. What I do is I actually go to trade up here in the top menu. I go to trade and then I go to the active trader window. And this is the way I've enjoyed setting it up. Other people have done a couple different ways. Some people will go to charts and they'll go to the flexible grid. And that can work too, but I just do trade and then active trader. And the way I set it up is I use the active trader right here. This active trader is what gives you the buttons. So you've got the buy and the sell buttons, and you can customize them the way you want. So what I go in and do is I actually customize these exactly to my liking. So I want to be able to buy ask, buy market, and buy on the bid. Those are the 3 types of buy buttons I have. Then I have sell bid, sell market, and sell ask. Now the problem that I run into is if we have a stock that's moving fast and it's moving pre-market, I can't press buy market because market orders only work from 9:30 a.m. till 4 p.m. So during this window, you have market orders and you have stop orders. So from 4 a.m. to 9:30 and from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., you can only use limit orders. And I don't have a problem using limit orders, but what I want to be able to do is create an offset. An offset looks like this. So we're looking at a stock like WKEY, and the ask is 198 or 193. I put the order up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents, something like that. So now I have an offset slightly above the current ask. By having that offset, it allows me to fill my entire order. I may get some slippage, but I would rather get filled with a little slippage than miss the trade entirely. And unfortunately with Thinkorswim, they don't have a hotkey that allows you to create an offset. If you go into the application settings, you can create hotkeys, but they don't have an offset. So your hotkey will be buy ask or buy market or buy bid. And the problem with buy ask is that if you want to buy, let's say 10,000 shares, and on the ask, there's only 1,000 shares for sale, you'll buy the 1,000 shares and then your order is just going to wait and it's not going to move higher. So now you're not going to get filled on your order and the stock's going to go without you. And then you're going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs, feeling like an idiot. So for me, what I would rather do is use an offset. So unfortunately, since you can't do that with the buttons or with the hotkeys at Thinkorswim, I use the ladder right here where I manually click on the actual price. So you press the control button and then you click the price where you want to get in. So you click to buy and then you click to sell. But one of the problems is, let's say you buy an odd number of shares. Let's say you buy 13 shares and you want to sell it. Well, you can press the flatten button, but that only works during regular trading hours because it's a market order. So if you want to get out, you've got to go and manually type here, 13, not 113, 13. And when you're feeling the pressure, your fingers are shaking a little bit, all of a sudden you're fumbling, you're not doing it fast enough, and the profit you had is gone. It's gone. The stock dropped down, you didn't lock it up. And it's so annoying. So for me, if we can contrast that with Webull, we're over here on Webull, and I'm in the middle of doing a little challenge here with this Webull account. I'll do an episode on that at some point in the future. But in any case, you come over to Webull, and so let's say I want to buy. Let's see. I got to go back to my layout here. All right. So let's say I see SNTI, or we'll switch over to WKEY. So let's say I want to buy it. I can use the buy button down here, and I can punch and click and create these orders, or I can create hotkeys. So if I go up into the hotkeys under settings, go to settings, under the hotkeys, I can create trading hotkeys, and these are the ones that I've created right here. So under hotkey settings, I can have the buy market, buy bid, buy ask. They have the standard ones, the same ones essentially that are available with Thinkorswim, except they offer this plus button. Create a customized button. Oh my goodness, my dream come true. Why doesn't Thinkorswim do this? It would be so simple. So buy, ask, offset, 10 cents. So we're gonna do a buy order, offset, bid, buy, it's a buy order. We're gonna do 1,000 shares, do 1,000 shares. We're gonna do ask price, and we're gonna go offset 10 cents, like that. It's gonna be a day order, and we're gonna allow extended hours. And just like that, we create it and we script it to a button, and all you have to do is press that button and it'll send an order for an offset, a buy order, offset 10 cents above the ask. Now, let's say you want to turn around and sell. So you're like, okay, I got this buy button to buy. Let's go ahead and create a sell button. So sell bid 50%, half. So let's create a sell button here, and we're gonna sell quantity. Instead of doing shares, let's change it to percentage, 50%. So now we're gonna do 50%, we're gonna sell at the bid. Maybe we'll do an offset just below the bid. So we'll do 10 cents below the bid. It's a day order. We're gonna include extended hours, and then you script it to your key. Done. So now you've got the hotkeys that you need with the press of a button to be able to move in and move out of the market quickly. That's exactly what we want. That's what we want from Thinkorswim. They have it right here at Webull. So if I was going to compare and contrast Thinkorswim versus Webull, I would have to say that Webull as a platform is better. You've got your order book here, which has your level 2 data. Now, I will say that one thing that you've got to do with Webull is you've got to go and subscribe to the data. So you can see right here, I subscribed for $99, or sorry, it's $2 a month, I think, subscription history. So it's $2.99 a month for level 2 and $9.99 a month for NBBO. So it's not very, I mean, all things considered, I don't think it's very expensive. That's a relative, you know, that's relative. What's cheap for someone might be expensive to someone else, but I don't think it's too bad. And by doing that, if you fund this account with a couple $100, you could trade with 1 share. Now, you're not going to be able to trade 1 share of Amazon or Apple, higher price stocks. You're going to run out of buying power. But you could trade with 1 share of some of these lower price stocks. So you could get in, you could get out, you could trade all day long, just buying and selling, 1 share. And then you're able to actually track your metrics. Now, another problem that I didn't mention with the paper trading simulator at Webull, well, we were really focusing on Thinkorswim. So let's go back to Thinkorswim. Let's stay focused. All right, so Thinkorswim, I'm just gonna hide this for a second. So back to Thinkorswim. So again, look, some of you guys are already using Thinkorswim. You like the platform, you don't wanna switch. I get it, it's not fun to switch. So if you've got a workflow that you're dialed in on and it feels good for you, then by all means, don't let me stand in your way. Do whatever you'd like. And I should say that I don't have any affiliate relationship with Webull or Thinkorswim. I don't make any money if you use one or the other. It doesn't make any difference to me. So it's whatever works for you. This is the way I've done it. I recently did a Thinkorswim challenge. I grew my small account all the way up to it was like $27,000. And I did it just using the Thinkorswim platform. I didn't use any third-party integrations. I didn't use any fancy hotkeys. I just did point and click. It can be done. I know a lot of traders who do it. It doesn't feel as fast to me, but it can be done. The only thing is that you really have to use the real money. You have to use a real money account if you want to use it because the simulator is just too slow. So that means you've got to fund an account with a couple $100 so you can buy and sell 1 share. You will be limited in some ways because you're not going to have halt levels and you're not going to be able to see resumption quotes. So let's talk about that for a second because that felt important with Webull. So, and one other thing that I'll mention though is that when you go over to monitor, you can actually monitor in Thinkorswim your profits and you can export them. And you could do this both with the sim, but also with real money. And the nice thing is if you export those, you can import them to a platform like TraderView. So I'll show you TraderView for a second. This platform is what I use for my metrics. So it's not free, it's $50 a month. Again, I don't have an affiliate relationship with them. So if you use it, it's fine. If not, it doesn't matter, but to me. But this is what I've been using since 2016. So I have that many years of trading data inside TraderView. It is $49 a month, but you can import your trades. So what I'm able to do, since my broker, Lightspeed doesn't give me my metrics. They don't give me analytics on my trading performance, but it's important to me. So I pay the $50 a month to import all my trades here, and then I can see over the last 30 days, I'm up. Well, let's see, that was April. So we'll do last 30 days here, I'm up $603,000. But what I find really helpful about analyzing metrics like this is that let's say we have a month like March. So March of this year, for instance, was not a great month for me. I was really kind of in a bit of a rut. And when I looked at my metrics, I noticed, I seem to be losing money trading higher priced stocks. But I'm doing well on stocks between 2 and 10. So I took that and I said, you know what? For the month of April, I'm just going to focus on stocks between 2 and 10. And by focusing on stocks between 2 and 10, I made twice as much money in April because I eliminated those outlier losses. So I really think knowing your metrics is very important when you're sim trading, because you need to know what are you doing that's working and what's not working. Where's your profit coming from? And if you have no idea, then you're kind of flying blind. And I really think that that's a problem. So with neither Webull nor Thinkorswim give you your metrics, at the Warrior Trading Sim, we do aggregate your data and produce metrics for you. Mine aren't in here because I don't trade in the simulator, but it would give you your profit loss ratio, your profitability by price, instrument volume, time of day, basically all of the relevant info that I use in TraderView. So that would save you the $50 a month. So anyways, now so one issue, well, it's two things. So number one, you can go to import trades and you can import directly from Webull, which is gonna be down at the bottom. You can import from the Warrior Trading Simulator if you want the data that, I mean, we give it to you, but some people wanted to import it here, so they made it available. And then you've got Schwab, but then you've also got Thinkorswim somewhere around here. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, there it is, Thinkorswim. So you can import from Thinkorswim. You just follow the instructions and then import your trades. So if you were gonna use either Webull or Thinkorswim, you would kind of have to factor in adding, some software for analyzing your metrics, because that is important. So that's going to cost you a little bit more money. So I would just say metrics price. So $49 or included. So now you're kind of at like $50, so $60 a month, all right, versus $100 a month. So, it's, again, you're going to be better off using the Webull simulator if you're not in our classes. If you're in our classes, you'll get a discount because you get the 90 days for free. But in any case, it's kind of up to you. So I'm just going to put these as red, I suppose, for now. Oops, let's see, go to red. Okay. So now one problem with the paper trading with Webull that I noticed is that if you paper trade with Webull, it doesn't keep your positions, which is really interesting. So let's just say I do buy 1,000 ask. So it submits the order. The order is going to sit for 10 seconds, as we know. It takes a little while to fill. And well, you can already see, because I took these trades on WKEY earlier, but it doesn't show you that open position. It's not sitting there. So I don't have this window here that shows me my open position of how much money I made. And that, by the way, took an awfully long time. Let's do sell bid. So sell bid 100%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds? That's too long. That's too long. You go to real money and you're going to be in and out of this thing as quick as it can be. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay, there we go. We're in. So here, what I can do under the positions window is I can go to condition filter, display, which one is it? Show today's closed positions off. I could turn it back on. So you just have to save your layout. So you turn it back on and then you can sort of organize this the way you want. So the way I would have it, I don't need the name of the company. I do usually show my open P&L and I would show my average cost. So I'll move that over there. I don't need the other ones. So I'll just make this bigger. So I have my symbol. Which one was this? Quantity, we need that. The P&L, we need that. Open P&L, we need that. And yeah, days realized. Yeah, so actually I do it like this. And then I'll move that over like that. So that's really all that I need right there. And then on this side, I would go ahead and add, you could add a chart if you wanted to have your charts in here. Now I've been in the habit of using, different software for charts, which works for me, but it's not something that everyone's going to want to do. All right, so now that we've kind of gone over and compared and contrasted these two platforms on a couple of levels, we've talked about they're both better with real money. Extended hours, you don't get it with thinkorswim unless you're doing production. You do get it with Webull in the sim, but the sim's too slow. Level 2, you get across the board. Advanced hotkeys, no question, they're better at Webull. You can create customized hotkeys to your liking. That's fantastic. Your halt levels. So you do have to subscribe to that market data to get those halt levels. And then if you're on, let's see, display. We're going to go to order book settings, NBBO. So on the NBBO, this is where you'll see your halt levels and your halt resumptions. So the way these halts work is, for those that are new and are not familiar, the market has this mechanism to prevent flash crashes, and they're called volatility trading pauses. So if a stock drops like 30%, that can't happen. It can't happen that it drops 30% instantly, because it'll be paused by this mechanism. But it also works with stocks that are spiking up. So essentially, these halts kind of restrain volatility, but they only work between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. So you have halts during regular trading hours on volatility, which are LULD, halts, but you don't have them pre-market and you don't have them after hours, which is kind of funny. So I do a lot of my trading pre-market, and one of the things I found is that during that time of day when you don't have halts, you can have incredible moves. We had a stock just it was like last week, actually. Let's pull up the chart. This stock had breaking news, ZJK. It went from like $8 a share to $50 a share, and it did it in like 10 minutes. It was unbelievable. I mean, this is like absolutely crazy. So let's look at this chart. Holy smokes, this thing went straight up. It was just insane. So from $7 a share, $8 a share, all the way up to 50 bucks. And there were no halts on it. Of course, it came back down. There are also no halts on it, but there's no halts pre-market. There's no halts after hours. But during regular trading hours, there are halts. And it's important to know the halt data, because when a stock is about to be halted, you want to know, because trading will be paused for 5 minutes. You can't buy and you can't sell. So if you get in right before a stock is about to be halted, you're now stuck. You can't buy or sell. You've just got to wait till it resumes. And then during the halt, you may wonder, where's it going to resume? Now, I have access to that data. You can get access to that data with Webull. You can get access to that data with the Warrior Trading Sim, but thinkorswim doesn't offer that data. So you're kind of flying blind. You don't know where the halt levels are, and you don't know where the resumption prices are. That's a problem. That's not going to work. If you're an active trader, you need that data to make informed decisions. So with Webull, you unlock that data with your NBBO subscription. So you have to subscribe to the NBBO right here, and then you unlock that data. And what it looks like is when during regular trading hours, it's after hours right now, but during regular trading hours, you'll see down here at the bottom a word, it'll say limit up and limit down, and it tells you the price. And that's the price where if the stock goes to that level, the price will be halted for a minimum of 5 minutes. Now, the way these halts work is they were created to prevent and sort of restrict volatility. And so the way the halts work is they're based on the price of the stock of the prior close. So if the prior close was less than 75 cents, the stock will halt every 15 cents from the reference price. Reference price equals average price over 5 minutes. So that means if a stock is at 50 cents a share and it goes up 15 cents in less than 5 minutes, it's going to be halted for a period of 5 minutes because it went up to basically the max limit based on the reference price. Stocks between 75 cents and $3, they halt every 20%, and stocks above $3 halt every 10%. And so that means a stock yesterday that closed at $2.95 would halt in let's just do this scenario. So it would be in this bracket here. If it halted, if it was at $2.95 yesterday, it would halt at approximately 360, right? 20% above the current price. So if all of a sudden in a matter of 3 or 4 minutes, the company comes out with breaking news and starts squeezing up, you would want to know that this thing's about to be halted, because if you're in during the halt, you can't sell. But what's interesting is that while the stock is halted, we can see the resumption price. It's not the current price, but it's the price the stock is going to resume at. So what that means is that even though you can't trade during a halt, you can place an order to buy or sell. So if a stock halts going up, usually people are going to cancel their sell orders and hope it keeps going higher. And so usually that creates an auction where during the halt, people are putting out buy orders and putting out sell orders, and there's more buy orders and fewer sell orders, which creates an imbalance where the resumption price is higher than the price where the stock halted. And that's exactly what happened today on WKEY. So if I pull up this chart as an example, this stock halted this morning after it had the news of the SpaceX satellite launch. So it squeezed up, we'll just back it up here. It squeezed up and immediately halted going up at 370. No, sorry, it was a little lower than that. It was at 370. And then it opened at $4 and nearly 70 cents. It opened $1 a share higher because during the halt, people said, I like this and I want to buy it. And anyone who had sell orders out canceled their sell orders because now they're in a stock that's got breaking news and the news is good. So all of a sudden it opens here and it goes up and it goes again to up more than 10% above the reference price. So it was halted. All right, because this stock closed the previous day at just over $3. So because it was over $3, it fell into the range of 10% halts. So it goes up another 10%, it's halted, and then it resumes and squeezes up all the way to $6.40. Now the thing is, I took this trade, and while it was halted, the stock was halted, I was looking at the resumption prices. I could see where it was going to resume. Now I subscribe to that data right here with Lightspeed, which is the platform I use for real money, but we use essentially the same market data here for our simulator. So we get that data. So you can see both the halt levels and the resumption prices. And if you subscribe to the NBBO with Webull, you can do the same, which is great. So now you have access to that data, which is important. Once you have access to that data, all of a sudden, you've got your eyes open. You can see the resumption prices. You know when a stock is about to be halted, and you can move sort of in and out of those areas with that knowledge. And as part of learning how to trade, I mean, it would be silly to trade without that data. No one would do it with real money. Why would you do it in a simulator? Well, I mean, people do it with real money, I guess, at Thinkorswim right now, because they don't offer it even in their real money environment, which is, to me, crazy. But we actually have, I know a number of people that subscribe to our simulator and just use it for the data, even though they're executing their trades on Thinkorswim. So they're just subscribing to this so they can get the data. Although it would be cheaper just to use Webull, but they, whatever. Maybe they're using the sim for practicing other stuff as well. I'm not sure. But in any case, I've heard people say that. So I think Webull is a little bit of a newer platform that people have been a little skeptical of. I'm pretty sure their ownership is, let me just look it up. Owner of Webull. So let's see. Who is Webull owned by? Yeah, it's a Chinese holding company. So I think that's what's created some skepticism for people. But, I mean, be that as it may, it's a decent platform. So, that's what I feel like you can't really argue with. It's a decent platform. All right, so let's see. So let's go back over to our slide deck here. So we've looked at Thinkorswim, we've looked at Webull, we've looked at the Warrior Trading Simulator a little bit. Now, again, the purpose of this video wasn't just to highlight what's great about the Warrior Trading Simulator. I think it's a great platform, but it's got to be right for you. And it makes a lot more sense if you're going to be a student, because then you'll get access to it for 90 days for free. But you can go in here and you can, in the settings under hotkeys, you can create the same type of hotkeys that I just created in Webull using your offsets. You can script them to your keyboard. So it essentially offers, I would say, more or less the same features as Webull, except you don't need to fund an account with real money. Because that's the one thing with Webull, is that in order to use it the way I'm using it, you need to fund an account and trade with real money. In which case they kind of win because now you're giving them a little order flow. Again, it's only one share. It's not like they're going to make a killing off of it, but it is what it is. So if you're comfortable funding an account with a couple $100 and trading with just one share, then Webull is not a bad option. It's commission free. You've got no commissions. You can practice in it. Yes, you're going to have to pay for your trader view metrics. It's $50 a month. That you have to do that because you need to know your metrics. If you don't know your metrics, you don't know what you're doing right, you're not going to improve as a trader. So, you're going to spend $70 a month, I guess $60 a month when you combine those two. But in any case, and you've got to fund the account. So if you're okay with that, then I think Webull is your best option. If you don't want to fund an account with real money, or, for whatever reason, you're like, that's just too complicated for me right now, I don't want to do it, then the Warrior Trading Sim is probably your next best bet. And then beyond that, this is where it gets really tricky because there's really not a lot of platforms out there. In fact, there aren't any others that I've looked at that I think really compare. So Webull or the Warrior Trading Sim at this point right now are your best bets. So now the ball is in your court. Whether you use Thinkorswim, Webull, or the Warrior Trading Simulator, you can make any of them work. I do think Webull and the Warrior Trading Simulator are the best of these three. And of course, there's dozens of other platforms out there that I've looked at, and I narrowed it down to these three, partly because I include Thinkorswim because it is so popular, and I know a lot of people use it. But Webull, it's up and coming platform, but they're doing really well. They're offering features that established platforms like Thinkorswim that have been around for forever just have neglected to put out there. It doesn't make sense to me when they're in such high demand by active traders. And you know what? It is those active traders who are doing a lot of trading, helping generate a lot of the profits for those big brokers. So it would be nice if they included some of the features that we use every day. But regardless of which platform you use, if you check out the link posted in the pin at the top of the comments and linked in the description, you can download my layout for Thinkorswim, and I'll also include a download for my small account strategy worksheet. So for those of you guys who are at the very beginning of your learning curve, you can get yourself off to a strong start by following the trading plan that is laid out in that worksheet. And I want to encourage you to practice in the simulator before you put real money on the line. Now, again, if you want to use one share with real money, I think that that's fine. That's kind of the exception, but you've got to really restrain yourself and be disciplined to only trade with one share. Now, if you want to learn more about my strategy, I will put a link down below where you could either do a 2-week trial at Warrior Trading, or you could watch one of my full-length classes that'll walk you through the strategy that I trade every single day. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you for the next upload real soon.